Are you still having issues even after trying some of the basic troubleshooting steps? This video is going to show you what I'm calling the nuclear options. These are 4 different things that you can try to get your Mac back on track when some of the basic troubleshooting features are not working at all. The first reset is called a PRAM reset. This kind of resets things that the computer saves to its memory. Every now and then those settings can just get kind of clogged up and just bog your system down and just cause all sorts of weird and random issues. I can tell you from experience, a lot of times this PRAM reset will fix your issues really quickly. How you do it is you shut your laptop off. Once it's fully shut down, you hit the power button, and just after you hit the power button, you want to hold down your Command key, your Option key, your P key, and your R key together. So hit the power. As soon as you hit the power button, push down and hold the Command, Option, P, R key and keep holding them down. What'll happen is you'll hear the computer turn on, it'll automatically shut down, and then it'll turn on again. After it turns on that second time, then you can go ahead and let go of those keys. And many times that reset will fix your issues that are going on. So again, you want to hold down your Command, Option, P, R key after you hit the power button. That's the first reset. The second reset is called your SMC reset. I'm going to provide a link down in the description to a site because there are some different steps you have to do for this reset depending on what model of Mac you have. Because different versions, if they have the T2 chip, without the T2 chip, if they're older than 2018 or newer, there's lots of different factors that go into how you do this reset. But the basics of the reset are you shut your computer down, you hold down the Control on the left side, the Option key on the left side, the Shift key on the right side, and the power button all together, and you keep holding them down for about 7 seconds or so. Once you do that, you let go all the keys, and then you turn on your computer. Now again, depending on the version you have of your Mac, you need to follow the steps for that version. So again, go down to the description and I'll have a link that'll shoot you out to the different steps that you can do depending on what version of Mac you have. And if you're not sure, all you have to do is click on that Apple logo icon in the top left-hand corner, if you can, and then you go to About This Mac and it'll tell you what version Mac you have and what year it was made. So that'll help you find that information. The other thing you can do is you can flip your Mac over and look up the serial number. So you can actually Google that serial number. It'll tell you when that Mac was actually made. The final 2 options we're going to actually jump over, and I'm going to show you on screen the last 2 options that you can do to troubleshoot. Your laptop actually has what's called a recovery mode. And a recovery mode is something you can boot into to do some of these, what I like to call nuclear options. To get to that recovery mode, you first have to shut off your laptop, then you hit the power button, and as soon as you hit the power button, you want to push down and hold your Command key and your R key. So think of R as recovery, and that's how you'll get to that. So I'm going to push down the power button, and I'm going to push Command R, and I'm going to hold it down. You'll hear it turns on. In just a second, you'll actually see on screen what I'm seeing, but it's just going to take a few seconds for it to kick over to those things. And I'm still holding down that Command R key. It really lets it know that you need to get into that recovery mode. And in just a second, you will see on screen what I'm seeing. So what you'll see is it'll go through a couple of different boot ups. So you'll see kind of the Apple logo appear and then it'll hide, then you'll see it appear and then it'll hide. And what it's going to take a few seconds to do, it's going to examine all the volumes, which is your partitions on your hard drive. Once it does, the newer versions of Mac, they'll actually ask you to log in with the admin account. So hopefully you know that information. Older Macs, it'll just go to the screen that it's going to go to after I log in. I'm using my wife's laptop since I'm actually recording on mine. It's kind of hard. So I'm going to click on the username and I'm going to put in the password. Hopefully I got that right. Of course not. Let's try that one. There we go. So now you're going to see it has a couple of different options on the screen. You can restore from Time Machine. So if you recall, if you set up that Time Machine feature, you can actually restore to one of those backups. You can reinstall your macOS Big Sur, and what it will do is it'll actually just reinstall the operating system and leave your files intact. Now, Generally, it's supposed to leave all your files and settings intact, but every now and then I've found that some of those things get a little wonky. But it is a great way to just try to recover the operating system. The next one is, let's say you need to get into your browser really quick and just find some quick troubleshooting help. You can actually go into Safari and quickly browse. Now, the one thing to know is you'll see in the top right-hand corner, it's searching for Wi-Fi. So when I tap on that, you have to rejoin your wireless network. So if you go into Safari and get this page cannot load or cannot find server, it's just because you didn't rejoin the internet. It doesn't save your wireless information to the recovery mode. So once you do that, you can open up Safari, go in and browse to whatever troubleshooting steps you want to go to. The next thing you can do is you can go into the disk utility, and this is where you can format your hard drive and do things like that. The two I'm going to talk about in just a second is reinstall macOS Big Sur and then the disk utility. Now, if you come up to the top left, you'll see this utilities selection in the menu. If you click on that, you can actually go right to your terminal. So especially for some of the more advanced users, or if there's some special commands you found on a website that you can run to help fix your issue, you can actually open up your terminal and you can copy and paste those commands in. So it's really nice is you could open up your Safari browser, then open up terminal, and then you can just copy and paste those commands in. Or if you have your phone, you could just open it up, or a tablet, and you can just manually type in the codes that way. But sometimes they do get a little long, so I would strongly suggest just opening Safari and doing that way. The other thing you can do is if you tap on the Apple logo icon in the top left, you can either restart your computer normally or you can actually fully shut it down. Now, the two options I was talking about is the first one is you can reinstall your macOS. So no matter what version you have, you can do this. So you just click on reinstall macOS Big Sur and then you hit continue. And then from here, I'm not going to keep going because I actually don't want to wipe out my wife's laptop. So you would just hit continue and you would follow the steps that it shows you. And it'll walk you through reinstalling your macOS Big Sur. So I'm going to quit that install. The next step is the one I prefer, and when I'm doing a wipe and reload, this is the way I do it every time. You want to click on Disk Utility and hit continue. This is going to load up your disk utility, and this is where you can actually wipe your hard drive and do any tasks on your hard drive that you need to do. What I do is I'll click, you'll see a couple different ones here, and this is a really cool feature that macOS does, is it actually separates the core operating system from your files. So when you reinstall the operating system, it's just affecting your core macOS installation and not the files and the settings, at least in theory. This setting allows you to completely wipe everything off your laptop. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Macintosh HD, and then you're going to see this erase function. You'll click on erase, follow the steps that it tells you, and erase your laptop. It's going to completely wipe out your laptop. It's going to get rid of every little bit of things that are on there. And after you wipe it, you can close out of this, and then you can reinstall your macOS Big Sur. Now let's say you accidentally erase all your partitions, including your recovery, everything. If you boot up to the recovery, it will actually go into an internet restore. So you'll have to go through and connect it to the internet, over in the top right, select your wireless, and it'll actually download a copy of your macOS operating system from the internet. It does take a little while, depending on your internet speed, but there's always a way to recover, and that's the really nice thing about Mac. So even if you wipe out your hard drive, or let's say you had to pull your hard drive, which on pretty much any modern Mac, you really can't do it anyways, but let's say, for example, you replaced your hard drive on one that's a little bit older, you can actually boot to the recovery and it will automatically pull down a copy of macOS to the laptop and install it. I hope you found this video helpful in troubleshooting some of these more, as I call, nuclear options in trying to fix an issue with your laptop. It's not something I have to do very often, but it is nice to know that there's these different steps out there. Probably out of all these different options I discussed, the one I do use the most is the PRAM reset that I covered in the very beginning of this video. That's the one I tend to use more than any of these other ones. But if you found that there's another issue you're having or you're seeing something that looks a little different, hit me up below and leave a comment. I will respond to those comments and try to help you out as best I can. Or if you have something that's going on and you would like to see a video to help you through it, leave a comment suggestion below and I'm more than happy to create an additional tutorial showing on something that you are seeing specifically. Otherwise, hit that like button to help support my channel. And while you're down there, also subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with my latest video tutorials. It helps support me and I greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and this is Adam on Tech, signing off.